Welcome to Secure Law Experience. This is episode 25. I'm Eduardo Borgar, and I'm here with
Stephanie de la Millar.
And we have a guest today.
Hi, Pilar Reynose with Mosquito Real Estate.
Great. Nice to have you here. We are going to be doing this without Luis still. I hope he gets well soon. Please let us know about some recent experience that you had, because this past month, I think for all of us, was pretty hectic. A lot of closing. We're getting to the end of the year, and usually this time around, everything starts getting a little bit crazy, and things need to be closed before we get to November, because basically it's a few days worked, because December is pretty much a death month. Everyone wants to go out into holidays. So please let us know.
Well, first I would like to say that Pilar Reynose from Mosquito, it's one of the most experienced agents that I know, and the one it's more committed with the customer service. She literally will go to the store to get you what you want. Literally. I mean, in an experience, I can say that you are a real estate professional, that the client is not a number or not a commission. It's a human being, and you get to know them very well and know what they want. So I truly admire this customer service commitment that you have.
And that's because I really like work with you, with Sakura Law, because always is the client. It's not a number, and that's important. The commit that you also have with them, like make happen the things. You know, it's not like just like a paperwork or a documentation, and then we don't have it, and there is no possibilities. There is always a possibility with you. It's great to have that backup with you, always with your clients.
We work as a team, but
Yes.
you are truly committed to satisfy the client. So I truly admire that.
A long time ago.
Not so long. But yes. Let's say that we are well experienced.
I think that begs the question, when did you start having that philosophy about the client? Because usually when you get into a certain business, you try to mimic what everyone is doing. And most of the time there are brokers that have no values, and they just see them
Just
as a
closings
number.
and
Exactly.
numbers.
When did you start that change of mind?
I always has been like that. You know, like at the end, I'm a good listener. I like to. It's a dream for people. It's not just an investment. Even they say that they want an income, they would like to see something beautiful at that home, or something that may help their family to have a vacation, a dream vacation in family with friends. At the end is that, and you have to focus on that, on people. There are real people. There is not just an income coming to you like as a commission.
Of course, and I think part of the job is making that connection.
Yes.
Right? I've seen, I don't know if in your experience, I've seen both kind of brokers, and it's a huge difference on the kind of impact that they have on the client.
Of course.
That they become like friends basically for life.
And they will recommend you. You know, at the end, that people will bring you more clients, and you will have, of course, more income from that. But at the end is the recommendation that they will say, I have a great experience with them, so I will recommend you work with them.
And do you still have like contact with, let's say, not your first client, but with one of the firsts?
Yes.
That's
yes.
awesome.
They are also second buyers, or
They repeat
yeah.
with you.
Yes, I have a good friends also that when they come, we have lunch and get like updated about their life, because some of them, I know them with young kids, for example, and now they are like teenagers, so, you know.
Wow.
So it's good. And even with the very difficult clients, you know,
At the end, they realized
Yes.
that you did a good performance.
Yes, exactly. At the end, they text me sometimes, and
Those are
just to say hello.
usually the ones that you remember the most, right?
Yes.
When there's a difficult client, you invest more time into it and emotions as well.
Yeah.
That's why like they leave a lasting mark in you.
Yes. Each closing is an experience in your
Definitely.
career, for real. Like, you don't have same closing each time. Like,
Even if they buy in the same project, no?
Yes.
Let's say that they buy exactly the unit next to the other, but for some reason the closing goes in totally different way. Even if it's the same contract, they are signing for even the same price, is closing at the same month, but as you said, it's people. So every person is different. It's an individual, completely special, and that it's the passion that I see that you put. That you became an expert because you learned something new from each closing.
totally. Yes, and for example, like, if the person feels that you have to protect them, like, at the end, it's like, I'm here to make easier the things at the end. But something that I have learned is not just that protection. You have the responsibility to give them the responsibility to take also decisions. And it's all something that I learned with you, like, that they have responsibility. If there is a seller, they have the responsibility of paying taxes or providing paperwork or whatever, no? And sometimes you want them to feel comfortable and pay less money, I don't know, and you put in the middle of the situations, but they have the responsibility also to take decisions, and your work is give them the information.
Yes, and when you, as Eduardo was saying, when you see a client that has been difficult and you look back once that the closing happens, why do you think mostly they get so difficult during the closing?
Money. Most of the time. Yes, I think the rush of the closing, like that time going to the day of the signing, I think everybody wants to gain something at that point. No, it's like, or they want the money before signing, or this kind of rush that starts happening, and you just have to be there holding both parties, figuring out the negotiation, that everyone is going to be protected and having their own the property or their money.
So it will be like having this gain and also fear, no? At the end, fear of what is going to happen, and if everything will come with a good result.
Yes.
And I mean, at the end, you see that it's a scared client that obviously is investing in a foreign country, that they can read a lot of things on the internet about the country that are not the best.
I just have a closing representing the seller, because they are in the other side of Luxembourg. So they send a power of attorney, and I represent them. But of course, they were afraid about what is going to happen, no?
The
if
scope.
you sign, and how I'm going to get the money, because it was a mortgage with a Mexican bank also. So all the paperwork that has to happen to have their money on their account.
It was an escrow account in
No, some part of the money, and the other one was mortgage directly to the seller.
Okay.
So all the time I was explaining them step by step that this is going to happen first, then this, and this. And the day of the closing, I take the time to send them messages directly to them that I'm doing this, look this photo, now we are in the bank, changing the Mexican pesos to the dollars, and so you have all the money, and this is the proof that the money has sent, like giving them the trust that they need, like, and the message at the end was, thank you very much, I feel that we were there.
Oh.
So yes, it's that, no, giving them the trust that everything is going to happen by law, of course.
Yes, even if the fact that they were in another continent with a
Totally.
different.
Blind, of course, we are trusting in you, of course, and in this situation and whatever.
Wow.
I think that's because we have a lot of misconceptions about
Yes.
our legal system
Yes.
and our culture.
Yes.
Especially because we are, I would like to say 100% of the time, we are dealing with people that is not their first purchase. They've already have their own properties in their own
Yes.
countries, and they are venturing out
Totally.
and doing it in a different one. So they have the expectation of their own legal systems,
Mhm.
of how things go there. And on top of that, you add that they always listen to, hey, look out, Mexico,
Totally.
you will get scammed and all that. So it's a mixture of a kind of fear,
Yes.
and then going into the dark,
Yes.
and that it's not a good recipe for success, because we always say this: when you have somebody that has low expectations and they're always fearing something, the closing will be a mess.
Yes.
Because I don't know, their vibes, their
Totally.
attitude, I don't know what happens, but everything
Attract.
gets screwed, right? The bank, it delays more than the usual.
Yes.
Something happened with the property, I don't know, the municipality also did something wrong, or they
Yes.
paid the predial and they didn't show up. Something
Yes.
happens, something.
Yes.
So as a advice, please ease out.
Yes. Don't
Let the
attract the bad
professional,
vibes.
yeah.
The law of
Law
the
of attraction, yes. That's what I see, or what I've seen in my years of experience. It never goes well. And that begs the question, how many years have you been around in the real estate?
With Mosquito, I think it was 2015.
Yes, almost 10 years.
Yes.
Wow.
That's when you
Before-
started?
Yes, with Mosquito. And I was in another company before, but doing everything.
Not just
like,
sales,
no,
right?
no, just like vacation rentals, long term, and yes. But my career, I feel it with the company that I am.
And I think that it's also a big plus for Mosquito that they also, I mean, I have seen with some clients that we share that you provide their rental vacation services.
Yes.
So it is a chain of good experience because you are committed again with them that, okay, you buy an investment, okay, it doesn't turn well, that it's not part of
Yeah.
my job. My job was to find you the right place and you put it out for renting and you see how the business is going. With you, it's
Yes.
all in one
Yes.
because you engage with them that you will find the right place, but also that you will manage this rental the business so they can make a profit. You can protect the unit itself.
Yes.
So
And not just giving them like the false promissory about incomes. That is important. No? Like, yes. Like at the end, the commit that we have as a company with our clients is the good service they will have at the end. Like, is because they are not here, so of course protect their property, take care of it,
mhm.
maintenance, vacation rentals, cleaning, like everything, of course, but also the trust that is in good hands.
Exactly.
And not just, okay, you buy and say goodbye. Say goodbye to you, like wherever it goes with your property, we don't, it's not that. No? But being clear, I think, and it's the most
Exactly, not
important.
false promises like
Yeah.
you will become millionaire through the rental vacation. Well, there are some cases that they are super really successful,
Yes.
and some others.
But it depends on of a lot of things. The market, what's going in that moment specifically, like the season they purchase the property and put it in rentals. It depends on a lot of things.
Yes,
Truly.
and
It's not just one thing or one variable on that.
yes, it's not like they will buy this property and for sure it will be 100% occupied. And no,
No,
it's-
I think our manager, what I listened a long years ago from him, it was like the first year of the rental of the property is the most important because it's the year that the property shows up on the platforms. No, it's not just like you put it and immediately you will have a lot of rentals or reviews. It's a work on it.
Okay. So from the first year, you can evaluate how the unit is really
Yes.
making and going in the
Yes.
business.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's not like the first day you put it on the website, you will have like
That's
A
sometimes-
queue, a line, no,
Yes.
of people wanting to rent your place. That sometimes, I mean, thinking as an investor, you imagine that if you want to, I don't know, open a bakery, you picture a line of persons wanting to buy your product.
yes.
And I'm pretty sure that it happens when you buy a real estate for rental income. You expect to get occupancy 100% and immediately. And often doesn't happen like that. And it's what I love about what you do, that you put the client to make decisions and on the ground in real basis about how the business works, and that sometimes are facts that are not in your hands, nor in the client, nor in the property itself. It can vary a lot of things,
Yes,
maybe.
and for other ones are their second home, or their new home. So that of incomes it doesn't matter. At the end is the love of the property, how they look in the future about living there or moving to another place like Playa or Tulum.
Yes, and keeping that lifestyle that it's more chill and yeah, especially in Tulum.
In Tulum.
Everything is just stops there, no? So that is a great advice. I really like that.
And do you remember any experience with your first or one of the first clients that you had that you learned from?
We have a lot.
That is something that we really like to ask, because sometimes not sometimes, most of the times in those first experiences, that's how you start forming your expertise or your values as a professional.
Yes, I think each one has their impression on your work for the future, for sure. But we have had crazy closing with some clients. Like for example, when I met Secura Law, Secura wasn't the representation of my client, but they were representing, I think, the buyer, and I was representing seller. But it was kind of clients, that you can trust at all. We were using escrow and like a lot of protection for everybody. But when I met Stephanie, she take care, even she was representing the buyers, she take care about all the operation. Like at the end, it was like taking care about the taxes of my client, speaking with him to be like calm with all the situation. Then he had an accident.
I will never forget that one.
So we have to
1 or 2 days before closing
yes,
date.
he wasn't responding our message. We have the date of the closing coming, and then we figure out that he had an accident. He was at the hospital in Cancun, so the notary goes to the hospital to get
With Pilar.
yes, to
Wow.
have the signing and then get back. with to the notary to sign the buyers.
Yeah, she was like, "How are you? Can I help you?" When I mean the client, at the end it was a good guy, but
Yes.
he was really mean with Pilar. Like really, like you are not working for me. You are working for the other party, and you have been shady. And at the end, Pilar at the hospital like, "How are you? Can I help you?" And I was, oh my God, I can't believe it. And she convinced to the notary to go to the hospital to collect his signature because obviously, she and I were freaked out. Like, oh my God, what is going to
2
happen?
days before of everything, of course, the clients were coming from, I don't know, I don't remember if Canada or United States, but it was like a long trip and waiting for the property that they were
Yes.
purchasing. So
After a lot of drama
Yeah.
from the seller. So obviously they were like a little bit, you know.
Skeptic.
Yes, and I don't know if we told them that he had an accident.
I think yes,
Yeah,
because
right?
they were waiting in the notary for our arrival with the signing.
directly from the hospital to the closing with the seller's signature. Yes.
I mean, those kind of situations give you the expertise and the commitment to go the extra mile, because sometimes in a closing you have to go the extra mile.
Totally.
I had one where I had to go to Cancun and then all the way to Tulum to collect a signature at
At
like
midnight.
like
Yes.
9-10 p.m. and I got it, you know, because you're always trying to provide that extra service to the client. The guy was partying in Tulum and I went into the party and grabbed his
Sign here.
signature, took a picture of his passport, you know. But you always try to give your client
Yes, or giving solutions,
That-
even with documentation, no? That if something happens with municipality documentation and you need it or you need to change something, you look for the
Way.
solution. And this is, I think, is that, looking for solutions, not just look for the problems. Is, okay, which one? Like, how we can solve this.
Yeah, I mean, there's several ways to solve something, but
Yes.
you need to pick the easiest and fastest because,
Yes.
as we talked about, we're always running against the clock.
Yes.
In a closing, you have a buyer and a seller, and they have their own responsibilities and their life going on, so you need to coordinate everything to happen smoothly,
Yes.
and you always something happens, right? So you need to act fast and think and give solutions for a good closing.
And a good dream, because always you
Exactly.
look and the thing is better next day.
Yes.
You sleep on it.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
When you wake up, oh yes, I know. I'm gonna start sending message to the notary and say this, or I
Yes.
need to talk with the bank and solve this.
See, she's truly committed. I mean, we have I don't know 7 a.m. phone calls like.
Yes.
I have this idea, and I was okay, Pilar, hold your horses.
Hold your horse until 9.
Yeah, I'm just waking up.
But yes, no, I mean that it's the I think the professionalism that you have that results on a real commit with the client, the commitment. I mean, I told in the beginning, if you want a real estate that goes with you, not only to the shop, to the hospital with you if something happens, you will want her.
Yes. No, and you have like, you are getting the experience with everything. Like, even like a fideicomiso is different from each bank, from each extinguish or session or however it works. With mortgage banks, it's always the same. No, like at the end, each bank has their own politics, and you have to explain them to the clients. Each notary also has their own structure, system, how it will work.
Yes.
So you have to be like having all this knowledge about how it will work in each case in specific.
So you can guide them properly.
Even taxes, no, like for people that are paying like their acquisition taxes or their capital gains. Like at the end, you always have like different situations.
Yes, and ways to make it work.
Yes.
That is the key.
Definitely. Anything you would like to say to our audience regarding your work, so they can stop by maybe when they come to Playa to your offices?
Yeah, like Playa del Carmen, Tulum, and all the Riviera Maya is the right place if you like to move, if you are going to look for a second home, and of course with all the infrastructure, the new infrastructure that we will having, and of course it's a good place to invest if you are looking for a place to vacation, like for a vacation rentals. We are in one of the first spots of tourism, so at the end it's a good investment to look into the Riviera Maya, and of course we will waiting for you.
Of
if you
course.
like.
Perfect. Thank you, Pilar,
Thank you.
for being here. It's a pleasure always to see you and to have you here in the office. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.